Sheesh, it's cold outside. Alright, let me show you what's going on. What bothers me is that when the car is fully aired out, while the front lip is almost entirely on the floor, the Nismo side skirt extensions are still a couple of centimeters off the ground. So I've been considering going for a somewhat popular combination, being the Kagutani side skirt extensions with the Hasemi rear bumper extensions. Right here's a picture from the old school ATTKD R34 we featured on our Farm of Mines blog before. However, I started looking at where I can get the side skirt sourced, and I've been quoted, quite frankly, some ridiculous prices from Japan directly. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind paying premium for the right item, but when I end up paying $1,500 for something that should be purchasable for a quarter of that locally, I'm looking for options. And I checked, there is no replicas around in Europe either. Combined with the fact that the design of the Kagutanis ain't perfect anyway, the answer is obvious, isn't it? That's right, let's go. First I measured all the dimensions to see what I have to model up for it to fit nicely. Then I started thinking about how to improve the design of the Kagutanis, as they are two simple planes connected by a fillet, which is just a tad too simple if we're gonna make something from scratch. I came up with a few different versions with varying degrees of complexity, like these, which in my opinion look really nice, but would be a tiny bit too much for the overall look I'm going for. So I settled on a design that is a nice middle ground between the Kagutanis as well as the original Nismo ones, but still would complement the Hasemi rear bumper extensions nicely. I did take cues from the Hasemis. I'm mainly talking about same sort of corners and edge sizes. I don't think, though, that the Hasemi rear bumper extensions are perfect, but I have some ideas for that too. So here's a side-by-side of my design versus the Nismo style ones. As you can see on the Nismo style ones here, they have a bit of a curve coming out in the front, which they do not exactly have in the back, even though the OEM side skirts even have an indentation over here with such a curve. And instead they went for an asymmetrical design in the back, where the lip part comes out further compared to the front. I basically changed all of that on my design because I took the curve from the OEM side skirt and checked it against the one on the front of the Nismo ones, and they were so close that I just decided to go for a symmetrical setup. And unlike the Kagutanis, which are just straight lines anyway, these will follow the body lines much nicer. I'm pretty excited to see the results, as I've been working on this for the past month. Together with Mirko's 3D printer, it took us a combined 200 hours to get all the bits printed. So I'm glad to finally see what I've created. If it looks good on the car, the next steps are gonna be figuring out how to make a mold that I can pull parts from. Because I might want to make more of these, as I've had a couple of guys interested in taking a pair for themselves. The good thing about this design is that these are symmetrical, meaning I will just have to build one mold essentially. Anyway, I'll pop them on and show you the results.